tell me where you were born?
Abertillery, or Cumtillery, Abertillery, Monmouthshire.
Right. And what did your father do?
Agitator. No, he was a miner, but he was an out-and-out rebel. He fighting for every man's cause, except his family. And so he was such a red end of the bed that nobody would employ him, I suppose. But he was a great man.
So he lost his job as a miner, did he?
Well, they just never employed him.
Right. So he was out of work then? Yeah.
Yep.
How many children were there in the family?
I got 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Yeah. And what did your mother do?
Look after us, I suppose.
Right. And where did you go to school?
In a little halfway up a mountain in a place in Cumtillery. And then went to secondary school down in Gatley Creek, down in Abertillery.
Uh-huh. And what age did you leave school?
14, I think. Yeah, it must be about 14.
Yeah. And what did you do then?
I went up working in the Maypole as the delivery boy.
What was the Maypole? Was that a pub? Or
It was a grocery shop.
Yeah. Did you have a bike?
Oh, yes. And I fell off it and broke my arm.
I see. So how long did you do that?
When I was 17, I left there. 3-4 years.
Uh-huh. And what did you do then?
Joined the army.
Right. So did you join up, or were you?
Yeah, I joined up. I don't know why, because we got no history of regiments or anything in the family, and I don't know why I joined the Home Guard first of all, put my age on naturally, and then I must have seen an advert in the paper somewhere to join the regular army. But I wanted to join the regular army. I could join as a cadet or as a boy soldier, but I didn't want that. So I put my age on again. Went down to Newport to have a medical. That was it. Got a sign here, sworn in, sign here, and I didn't realise it until I got home. And my mother looked at the paper and she said, "Raymond, do you realise you joined the army for 7 years with the colours and 5 years with the reserve?" And that was it. But I never had any regrets ever. I never sort of laid in a back room thinking, "Oh God, what have I done?" But I took it like a duck to water.
Yeah. So the war had started then. It's
oh yes,
yeah. So what did you know about the war? I mean, had you been following
Not a lot.
the news?
No.
You'd heard.
I mean, we had no air raids, no nothing. I think only involvement we ever saw was the fact that we had a lot of children come down to Abertillery as evacuees.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have any contact with them because they never come up to our school. It's too far halfway up the mountain, so we had to climb.
Where did you actually go to enlist?
I just to Newport.
And what did they say to you? Were they pleased to see you, as it were, or...?
No, there was about 30 or 40 of us there, so they just up and get on with it.
So, where did you get sent?
To Brecon.
To Brecon for your training,
yeah.
That was in 1943?
1943.
Yeah. So, tell me about the journey. How did you get there?
Got a train down at Abertillery up to Bryn and then a train from there down through the valleys, or down into Brecon. It's just from Abertillery to Brecon to Bryn to Brecon.
Did they meet you at the station, or?
Oh, they did indeed.
What was that like?
No problems. It's a lot of people shooting and bawling, and that was it.
Yeah. So you got taken to the camp, yeah?
Yeah, there in Lyons.
What was the accommodation like? What was it?
It was quite all right. Bunk beds.
Was it wooden huts or?
Yeah, wooden huts. No sheets, just blankets. It's all right. No problems.
So how many were there in your hut?
About 30, I think it would have been.
Yeah. And did you make friends there, or did you know?
Oh
people?
Yeah. Mind you, I haven't said that I made friends there, but I never. There was 3 regiments: the Welsh Regiment and the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, and I was the South Wales Borderers. But when we passed out and we went to a regiment, they all went out different ways then. And I don't think I can't remember of anyone who I knew in my squad went to the. We posted then to the second Mons, which is the TA battalion of the South Borders.
Yeah. So what was the training like?
Oh, all right, no problems. I think this is. You got plenty of exercise, plenty of PT, and they build you up to. I was quite surprised because I was only about 8 stone with a wet flannel around me and 5 foot and nothing.
Yeah.
And they selected quite a lot of youngsters who weren't physically up to standard to go away on 6 weeks a PT course. But for some reason I never. I could always manage everything, so I never went down there.
What did your family think about you joining up?
Glad to get rid of me. No. Because my dad died when I was 12 years old, and I think if he'd have been alive, I wouldn't have been allowed to get and join the army. But mother says, "You want to do right, you're going to do it," and that was it.
Yeah. Were you very short of money when you were growing up?
Oh yes. Yeah. I think that was what we on 3 shillings a day then when I joined up, and first thing you do, you had to fill in forms or whatever, and I allowed my mother a shilling a day out of it. Eventually, as all mothers know, that she gets all the angles, and I was then classed as she was dependent on my wages, which wasn't much anyway, and she got dependence allowance, which helped her quite a lot, I should think.
So that was quite important then for her.
It was to her, yes.
Army, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you the eldest?
Yes,
boy?
yes.
Right, okay. So
Yeah,
was she worried about you going off to war?
She never expressed anything about it.
What did your sisters say?
Nothing at all. They weren't. I suppose they were quite busy with their own lives, and because my youngest, or the next one down to me, because one sister older, one sister younger, and the younger sister, she was packed off into service up to Bristol, and she worked in the Hydro Hotel, as I recall, which eventually was bombed out, and she come home. But they said she wasn't at all concerned about me going to the army.
Right. So when you first got to the unit, they issued you with uniform, did they?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No, well I was in the Home Guard, so I had to take my uniform from the Home Guard with me. But then you got kitted out with everything. Another uniform, another pair of boots, all the equipment.
So, what was the food like during training?
It was very good. I think being a recruit soldier under training, the rations you had better rations than what they normally do. If I can digress just slightly, so then we went. Eventually passed out and went to the regiment, the second ones, and we met by the sergeant major, who was sort of, and the orderly sergeant, and the sergeant major said, "Take this lot down to the cookhouse and let them eat, let them have a feed." So we got down there and thought, "Oh, good, this is not bad." He got a loaf of bread, a tin of corned beef, and a half pound of margarine slapped on the table, and that was the food. It's quite a come down, really.
Yeah, so it was better when you were training.
Yes, it was, yes.
So, I mean, the army you'd done some in the Home Guard, but the army had to teach you everything.
Oh yes,
they?
oh yeah.
So, what were the corporals like? Did they teach you about your kit inspections and how?
Yeah, they were. You heard a lot today about the bullying and what have you, but I never found that at all. I always found them very helpful. If you turned the wrong way, you didn't get a dig in the ribs. They just made you do it again, shall we say?
Right. So they weren't shouting at you
No,
all the
no,
time.
no.
Yeah. So the basic drill, you found that quite easy, did you?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it in the Home Guards, and so I was off to a flying start, shall we say?
So what about kit inspections? Were those things you dreaded?
No. There had to be a certain way I would lay all the kit out, but there's no problems. I can't.
Yeah. So how did you settle into the army? Did you find it difficult? Not having.
No, as I found it quite easily. And as I said, I ever found her laying on the beds of a night and thinking, oh God, what have I done? I think Mother was a bit annoyed about that.
Did anybody in your hut or round about you find it difficult? Because some people found it quite difficult to adjust, didn't they?
No, they made it, but I can say I'm very much an introvert. I didn't make friends very easily. So they got on top and bottom bunk, so that I didn't obviously knew the chap above me, but the rest of the hut I didn't really get to know any of them.
But you didn't hear of people lying awake at night
No.
No. So did you do guard duties at all while you were training?
You were selected for one honour of doing one guard, but that was only one we ever had to do, and that was just on the camp and nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
What was that like? Was that overnight? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many of there would you be?
There's only a corporal and 3 men. That was all.
Did you have to patrol up and down, or?
Yeah, just mad. When I look back, I think it was bloody useless, stupid. They're just in front of the guard room, walking up and down. I mean, the rest of the perimeter of the camp was quite open. Anybody got in there. There we are.
What sports and things did you do while you were training?
I played rugby. I think they used to use me as a football, quite honestly. They weren't very big.
What else did you do in your free time? Did you play cards or?
No, I'd never been a gambler or any good at card playing. Down to the Naffy, if I had any money, I had a cup of tea, and that was it. I imagine we was always in bed by about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Did you go out into the town at all?
Yes, but it was full of soldiers, so you a soldier among many. There was the usual YMCA, the church army. There was also plenty of canteens sort of affairs there, which we could go and visit. And of course, on a Saturday afternoon, it was always down to the park to watch the rugby match. A very big part of a Welshman's life.
Yeah. Did you get any news of the war while you were in training? Did they show you newsreels or?
We used to get the lecture every so often, but they didn't get any really emphasis. I mean, the war wasn't going too well at that stage, so there was never no great emphasis on how we were doing. I think they thought the best policy is not to tell them, and they won't get worried about it.
So, did you, when you were doing your basic drill, did they talk about the light infantry pace?
No. That was the heavy infantry. That was it.
Right. Did you do route marches?
Oh yes.
Yeah. How bad were they?
Monotonous rather than bad. Yeah, except when you had to carry the blasted brain gun, that was a bit of a struggle. But it was just the monotony of it, just one foot in front of the other and on and on and on.
It's quite hilly country round Brecon, isn't it?
Oh yes.
What sort of length of marches did you do?
Well, we worked up to 20 miles a day.
Quite tough, though.
Well, it was in the beginning, but as you got fitter and fitter, it became easy. I think, as I said, the biggest problem with the boredom of it, just fortunately, I had the beautiful Welsh countryside. I had to get that one in.
Did you do any boxing or anything?
Oh yeah.
The army's quite
being just about 8 stone, I was selected. That's a very dubious word. I was detailed to go and box as I think it was being 7 stone, and I never put a boxing glove in all my life. So then I got a naffy supper out of it. It's only because there was only 2 of us fighting. He won and I lost, and I still got a supper. So
that was quite an important thing, was it? The boxing? Did everyone come and watch?
I didn't think so. Many people did most probably think of it. But it's.
So what weapons training did you do?
Normally infantry weapons, brain gun, rifle, bayonet, mortar. But again, as I said, I already trained in, so I had some knowledge of all of them before I got into the army.
And hand grenades?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the training like with weapons? Did you do a lot of target practice and so on?
Yeah, you fired on the 30-yard range. Then eventually we got placed at the open range at a place called Cwmgwri, which is just outside Brecon. And I was quite good at a shot. I shot it busily quite in my later years. But I always remember the sergeant major, he's called Johnny Gillick. And I got down to fire, and the first run I fired was a bull. And he said, "Come on, Chandler, if you hit another 4 bulls, I'll give you 6pence. Oh, yes, bang, 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 and I waited for my 6pence.
So you were a crack shot?
I was quite good, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you shot at Bisley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you do any sort of machine gun?
I always fought shy, like, it was too heavy to lug about, that was. Because you fired them, they didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But,
and did you use mortars?
Yeah.
And anti-tank guns?
No, I drove a carrier which towing the anti-tank gun, but I've never involved in the drills of the anti-tank gun.
Did they teach you to drive then?
Yes.
At Brecon?
At Brecon, yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, quite good.
Who taught you? Do you remember?
Oh, the Lance Corporal. He used to have a little swagger cane. If you did anything wrong, you get a little whack across the legs. Got bruises still now to prove it.
Do you remember his name?
No.
What vehicle did you learn on?
A Ford of some sort. It's a 1500 weight in it.
Yeah. So you were quite proud to be able to drive, were you?
Well, yes. I wouldn't have been driving other than that. If I just stayed in civilian life, I wouldn't have been taught to drive.
So did you do anti-gas precautions?
Yes. You had all that. You had the going into the gas shed, put your respirator on, take it off, and choke yourself with tear gas. And as I could tell, it was just for your own good to know that your respirator is effective. And
was that quite frightening?
Not frightening, just blooming discomfort of it all.
So what tactics and field training did you get?
Well, all sorts of camouflage, concealment, how to sight slit trenches, digging in, and all that sort of thing. Did
you do exercises and manoeuvres when you were at Brecon?
Yeah. Only sort of 2-day things. And then eventually when we went to the regiment, we went 10 days, 14 days exercises.
Did you have any contact with any other units?
Not really. No.
Did you do any special training, like signals or scouting?
No.
No.
Because they test you for all these sort of things, and even way back then, that year, they told me that my hearing was not good enough to pick up signals that very distorted or anything like that, which I was quite pleased about later in life when I see the big sets the men have to carry around with them. I thought, oh God, thank God I didn't do that.
So, once you finished your basic training, where did you you were sent to the...
I was sent to the 2nd Battalion of the Monmouthshire Regiment, which were in just outside Sittingbourne.
Right. So, what did you know about them when you
Not a thing.
went? Not a thing, right.
I never heard of them, quite honestly. I didn't know they existed.
So you had a passing out parade at the end of your basic training, did you?
Not as such. Not that they have today. I mean, that was the end of it. You finished. Get on.
Yeah.
Move over, let the next lot come in.
Yeah. So you all went different ways.
Yeah.
Did you get any leave at the end of your basic training?
Yes.
Did you go home?
Oh, yeah. By then, my mother... See, my sister married a chappie from Cwm, and had been a miner, and by then he'd been called back to the mine, so... And he had to go up to Staffordshire, Stoke-on-Trent. So my mother, with my sister, all moved up to Stoke-on-Trent. I went there then on leave to Stoke-on-Trent. That was the first time I had been up that way. I mean, quite honestly, that was the first time I'd been anywhere.
So, what did your family think now that you were a soldier? Did they treat you differently?
Oh yes, the prodigal son returneth was the thing. I was quite happy to go on leave because I was the prodigal son. You come home like.
Yeah. So you had about a week's leave?
It was 10 days. Also, the 10 days.
And then you had a travel warrant, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you went off on the train.
Yep, and that's the thing about the army. And wherever you went, you always had someone to do it for you. I mean, I didn't have to worry about what train they were going to catch. You said they would give you a list of 10:10 from Hereford to Stafford or Crewe or something like that, and they had all mapped out. I mean, same when to Hong Kong. You catch the plane at so and so and so and so, and it's all done for you. You didn't have to worry about it.
So you went off down south for the first time.
Yep.
Went down the south of England. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that journey down there?
I don't know. Of course, there was an officer in charge, and we should have got off at the station of Sittingbourne, but I don't know why. But he kept us all on the train, and we had to go on down to, I think it's a place called Faversham, where we then debussed or detrained and go back on the next train and come up to Sittingbourne. We all thought that was quite hilarious.
So that was the first time you met the people you were going to be with in the second months. Yeah. So did you feel quite proud to have a regiment now?
I can't say I did.
No.
The thing about it was, and I'd never met him. When I got to we got sort of allocated a hut, you, Chandler, go in there, and so and so and so. So I got in, and the corporal said, "What's your name?" Chandler Corporal, you know. And he said, "Where do you come from?" I told him. He said, "You got a grandmother called Evans." Yes, Corporal. And it turned out that he'd married one of my cousins.
Oh, right.
So it was very fortunate because throughout the beginning of the war, he nursed me along, shall we say. He said he would get down and I can move when I tell you to move and that sort of thing. Eventually he got wounded. He didn't get killed, but he got wounded. But by then I knew enough about to look after myself.
So what was it like at Sittingbourne then? What sort of a camp was it?
It was somebody's estate, as I remember. There was the big house and a lot of nissenuts. There was a naffy, but it was miles from anywhere. The local pub was about 2 or 3 miles away.
So what time of year was this? This was summer now, was it?
It's summer now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So do you remember the name of the commanding officer?
Colonel Kempster.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Did you see much of him?
No, nothing.
No, right. So you started training then again, did you? What sort of things were you doing?
Well, it was exercises as a battalion, which is only a step up from what we'd already done as in Brecon. Section training, things like that.
Which company were you in?
In support company.
In
support
company, yeah. So that's 2nd Mons, which battalion?
2nd Battalion.
2nd Battalion. Support company, yeah. So, were you training on your own, or were you, going with other regiments or battalions,
Yeah, well, we were doing exercises as a division, the 53rd Division, and you had the Welsh Regiment, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, I forget who it was, some of the English regiments actually, but they were alongside them. But I didn't meet many of them. We basically kept it to ourselves.
And what was your particular role then?
I was driving a carrier which had an anti-tanker on the back of it.
Yeah. How many of them were you in the carrier?
5 or 6. I can't really remember.
Did you all have your own jobs, or did you interchange?
No, they all had their own jobs. But I should imagine they used to have change, on the guns itself. But I must say, that throughout the war we never fired the damn guns in anger at all. So.
So what sort of form did the exercises take? I mean, some of them were quite big ones, were they?
Some were quite big ones. Divisional exercises. Getting off a boat onto a landing craft and chugging away out. We've done this up in Colchester.
Oh yeah.
Well, that area.
Right. Did you move around from Sittingbourne quite a lot then?
No. Once we got to Sittingbourne, it's about 12 miles from. We're outside, about 12 miles outside of Sittingbourne, and I used to go what they call a Liberty bus once a week, which is just a 3-tonner. To take you down and bring you back.
And where did you go then? Into town,
the cinema.
Yeah. What was Sittingbourne like then?
fortunately, it is in the summer, so it wasn't too bad. But there was nothing there, nothing entertainment for troops or anything like that.
Mm. Were you proud to be in a Welsh regiment?
I don't know. I can't think it was. It's only in the later years that I got this thing about being Welsh, about being in the southwest borders, which is the same as the Monmouthshire regiments, just doesn't it? Yeah, it's only in the later years I've sort of developed this thing about it.
How long did you stay at Sittingbourne?
I know, but a 12-month altogether.
Right.
Because from then we moved, as I said, we went up to Colchester to practice getting off boats onto landing craft. Then we come back to Kent and we were tented and something like that. It was a blooming atrocious place. There's mud everywhere.
So when you were at Sittingbourne then, I mean, you got to know your battalion and so on, and all the
But
officers.
you see, we all on company detachments, so we mixed very little with the rest of the battalion. I should think the only time we got to I wouldn't say to get to know them, but to know that there's other companies in the battalion, is when Montgomery had one of his famous talks. You know, we'd all marched down to Sittingbourne, cussing like hell for bloody Montgomery, and then we'd all just stand around and gather around and he would give his speech. We will knock them for 6, and all that sort of yes.
Yeah. So what did you think of Montgomery?
A lot. I thought he was great. Yeah. Well, I thought he made quite a nonsense of this airborne attack, but there we are.
But when he was speaking, did he inspire you?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Young soldiers.
Yeah.
Were you glad he was the one that was going to be commanding the second front?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know nothing about Americans and all their commanders.
So, did you know what you were going to be doing? I mean, did you know you were going to Europe, or did you think you might go to Africa or
No, we
Far
knew.
East? Or...
No, Africa was just about all over then. No, we knew we were going to Europe. And the strange thing, or not the strange thing, or funny thing, but we were in Whitstable, that's the thing we went to then, right on the seafront. Yeah. We had recognition houses, so we could look out of the bedroom windows, right on the sea, right onto the coast. And then one morning we looked out there and we could see all these boats, what the hell's going on with us, sort of thing. A matter of weeks later we were out there looking back in. It was the beginning of the second front, like, they sold in.
Did you know when D-Day came? Did you hear about it?
Oh yeah, the platoon commander told us about it.
What, before it happened?
No, not before it happened, no.
It happened, yeah. Had you got an idea it was going to happen?
Well, yes, because I mean, this is what all life was all about. Is again another thing. We used to send it up there and send the laundry, washing to the laundry, all neatly bundled up, I should say. But then sometime about a week or fortnight before that, they'd stop. No, you have from now on. You got to do all your washing yourself. You would issue with a tablet of soap, carbolic or something, and what a mess. I think we was glad to get out the second front to get some decent clone washing done.
So did you do any preparation of your vehicles or anything?
Yes, the waterproof them was the post. We had to waterproof them. And
what did you do that with?
Oh, you get kit and box stick and all that sort of thing. I've wondered if the car I had it would have sunk straight away. Because fortunately, when we landed, it was just the wheels that got wet. The rest of the vehicle didn't get wet at all.
So, I mean, you did lots of schemes and exercises. Do you think it... I mean, did you meet other units and other regiments when you were doing that?
No, possibly the Welsh Regiment or the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. I think it was the Oxen Bucks. You most probably met some of them.
Did you meet any Americans or Canadians when you were...
Yeah, we did, especially in Colchester. Bloody Americans. we didn't have a very good opinion of them.
Why is that?
I don't know. They just oversexed over here. I think they used to go selling it. They had more money than sense. They were I mean, without them, we couldn't have won the war, I'm sure. When we down in the Ardennes, when they broke through down there, and we went down, or we had to go down, didn't went down, and you used to look around here, and they'd be lighting the cigarettes, and I think we killed more of them than ever, the Germans.
So when you heard D-Day had happened, how soon after did you move?
The end of June. I think it was about the 28th, 29th of June.
Yeah. And so, were you told that you were going the next day?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you feel when you knew you were going to
Didn't
sail?
feel. I quite amazed myself. I can't swim. We knew we obviously got to get on a boat, and we knew that there's a good chance of being sunk. But I didn't worry at all. Yeah, and all we had was these May Westers, we call them, little things to blow up, and the puff to blow it up. So, but no, it never worried me at all that we were going over there.
So you set off from Sittingbourne, did you, in your carrier?
Yeah.
You drove to where?
To up to I think it was the Royal Albert Docks in London.
What was the scene like as you drove into London?
Devastation. There's a lot of bombs being dropped, and I think it's the sort of thing. Thank God I'm a soldier, not a civilian.
Were there people to see you drive to the dock?
I don't necessarily think so, because by then they'd have seen so many of them, the soldiers going and up onto the docks.
So what was the scene like when you got to the docks? Did you know what sort of ship you were going on, or?
No. The military policeman sort of guiding him up there, and up the gangplank, and that was it.
What sort of ship did you go on?
I don't know. It's cargo vessel of some sort. Because all the carriers are sort of uploaded and down in the hold.
Right. So where did you go then?
Then on the boat, or
on the boat, yeah.
Of course, we go directly to various where we had to go, and into one long room, or whatever they would call it, and there was hammocks everywhere. And that was a bit of a laugh. That was, you get one side and straight out the other side.
Was that a big big area with loads of everyone in there? So you got into your hammock eventually?
Yeah, eventually.
So what sort of, you were living on rations now, were you, or?
No, there was the cook, immediately from the cookhouse.
So how long were you on the ship?
I think it was 2 or 3 days, I think, something like that.
What, in port, or did you?
No,
you went out?
I went out, straight out.
Right, and waited in the channel, did you?
Down the channel, yeah, we were down the channel, turn right, and then turn left.
What was it like? What was the atmosphere like? I mean, were people seasick?
Full of apprehension. Well, obviously, we knew or realised that some of us was going to get killed, but it was always the other chap, not you. Somebody else will get killed, not me.
Were some people quite scared?
I think we all were in some way, but possibly didn't show it. But I know I was.
What did your sergeant or officer say to you? Did they say anything?
Not really, no. I think they were scared as what we were.
They didn't tell you what you were going to have to do when you got there, or?
Well, I mean, this all been rehearsed, but for what there was there, you couldn't rehearse for it. It was just a big shambles. At least I thought so.
So what was the weather like while you were doing your crossing?
It was quite good. The sea was reasonably calm. It didn't. I always remember we used to play Crown and Anchor which was the Navy boys who organised out on the deck, so it was not too bad.
Yeah. So you could see the coast of France quite soon.
Eventually, yes, we could see it. Yes.
Yeah. Could you hear gunfire, or?
Yes, we had the big guns firing over there. But once you got close to the beaches of Armanchester, it didn't take long to get us all off.
What time of day was that when you went in?
I don't know. It's quite late, anyways. It's
in the afternoon, was it?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I was only a very, very youngster. I didn't have a watch. I didn't want to watch. Didn't need a watch. I mean, as I said, you're always told what to do, when to do, and get on with it. And there's always an NCO officer there to tell you, get on down there, channel, blah, 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 and you didn't have to worry about anything.
So, how did you get off the ship?
As I said, that was shambolic. We eventually somewhere by year. I don't know how the French would pronounce it. I don't know. I think that would be they'd captured that by then.
Yeah.
But it was in that area.
Yeah. So you got off the ship onto the beach at
Yeah.
Raymond, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. How did you actually get off the ship? Did you have to scramble down nets?
Yeah.
Or,
Couple of, because the boat was going up and down. If you got to jump in when you thought it was right.
Yeah.
Couple of them got didn't make it. They broke their ankles or got damage to their ankles, and they I go back to Blighty, before they got there.
Right. You were jumping into landing craft,
Yeah.
were you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where was your carrier? Was that in the landing
That was
craft?
in the landing craft as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So you drove off.
Yeah.
Onto the beach.
Mm.
What could you see as you drove off? What was the scene like?
Not a lot, because I was down there. And
Looking through the little hatch, yeah.
No, it again, it was all the beach was all lined up with tape, so you had to go. You kept between the tapes, and you were all right. Straight outside him, and you.
Was it very well organised then?
It was very well organised, yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the beach master?
Yeah.
In charge of it all. So you drove literally off the sand then?
Yeah, up onto the roads, and.
What did you see? What was it like? What was Raymond like?
Quite honest, I don't remember seeing much of it. I think I was too busy trying to make sure the carrier was kept going and got up off the beach to worry about was going around it.
So you got onto the road then, and you were all in convoy, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know where you went that first evening?
No, I can't remember the name of the place. Eventually, we took over some part of the line from some regiment. I think it was a Scottish regiment, but I don't know. Eventually, we come under fire, and we never knew which way the enemy were. They come in all directions.
So that first night in France, you were sleeping in foxholes, were you?
Yeah.
So you really felt you were
right in among it, yeah. It's just then that we got our first casualties.
What, the first night?
Yeah. The shelling, the second command got killed, the cook sergeant, for all his word he got killed, poor lad. There's about 3 or 4 got killed on the first night. Yeah.
Me. That brought it home to you?
It did, indeed, yes.
So, did you know what you were going to have to do?
Well, yes, we knew we had to push on, and...
So the next morning after people had been killed in the night, what happened then? Where did they get taken? I mean, were they taken back?
They'd taken back somewhere to the... eventually, I think they got taken back to the war cemetery in Bayeux.
So where did you go? Did you stay there the next day, or did you...
No, we didn't stay there very long. We kept on pushing forward, I think, and trying to make enough room to...
So you were driving the carrier.
Yeah.
How did you get all your commands, the signals and things? Was there a chain of the way you got a signal, or?
Yeah, well, the section commander, he would go on to our group and get told what was wanted of us, and he'd come back and tell us what we were going to up to there and what have you. One good thing about all that is the church army. I think they're marvellous. Because wherever we were going, they were already up there issuing out tea. That's a fact, honestly. They were really marvellous.
Yeah. Well, they had a tea wagon, did they?
Yeah, they had plenty of tea wagons.
Yeah.
The NAFI had them, Church of Scotland, all, especially the religious groups, they all had them. And of course, I thought I was being a chapel boy all my life. I thought that was wonderful.
Where did you actually see your first action then?
That was in the night when we landed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you firing back then?
Yeah, oh yes, I don't know what we fired at, but we fired in. I think just give us courage, I think just to fire the damn thing.
Were you in trenches then? Or
Yeah, in foxholes, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So another battalion or something had been there before?
They'd been there before us, yeah.
Right, so you moved into their position, yeah. Do you know where you moved on to from that first?
No, names, it's...
Because the names weren't used that much, were they? It's the map references.
No, it's map references, you said, yes.
So you started pushing north.
Yeah, we got in Eversey, Eversey, I think it was.
Yes, Eversey, yeah.
The Royal Welsh Fusiliers, they had 1, 2, 3 battalions, all in the same brigade. And they're the ones who were ordered to take Eversey. And they suffered tremendous casualties. And it was decided after that that they would split them up so that they wouldn't all the casualties in one brigade. But I still don't know how it happened. But there's this cemetery down outside Landard, and there's a lieutenant. He was killed in Eversea of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. But I didn't think that they brought any bodies back to be buried in England. So I don't know whether it's just a token or what.
So, what other incidents do you remember in the early days?
Well, then eventually we went up and took over on Hill 112. Again, we don't know where we took it over from, but we made various patrols over the top down to the other side.
Do you know who you took over from?
No, I can't remember. I think I was more concerned with survival than anything else. Nothing.
How did you react to the sound, being in battle, the sound of battle all the time? Was it continuous?
Fairly continuous. It was it restricted movement. Whenever you go up, if you had to come out front line for any reason and you go back in, you always had big notices of shells, dust spring shells, and all that sort of thing.
So it was just your Bren carrier.
Yeah.
Grouped together, so you became a real unit then, did you?
You
were living together all the time.
Well, no, you become part of a company. There would be two anti-tank guns to companies like that, and then you were very seldom we were ever two guns together. One would be on one side, possibly one on the other side. So you never really got in touch with any other anti-tank gunners.
Can you remember any of the names of the other people in your carrier?
No, strange enough, I can't. The sergeant was a chap called Sid James. That's about the only one I can think of, quite honestly.
Yeah.
The strange thing about it is because I've been a regular soldier. Eventually, I had to go back to the 2nd Monmouthshire Regiment because they as what they call a PSI, Permanent Staff Instructor. And I went down to Newport. I was stationed in Newport, but I never ever met anyone from I knew in the 2nd Mons.
Right. So, tell me about Hill 112 then. You'd heard about this before you got there, I expect.
Yeah, it's quite a battle one way or another. There's nothing striking about the hill. It hardly looked. From we had a very narrow perspective. It didn't look a hill at all. It's just. I think one of the striking features of it was, and we used to laugh and joke about it, being soldiers as we would, was that there was tremendous amount of tank movement on the top of it, and unfortunately there was more knocked out German tanks, which is ours, than ever Panther tanks. With the movement along there, soldiers got killed. The tanks just used to run over them, and the standard joke was, "I'm going to post him home to his mother, put him under the door." You get so blasé about it that it's death didn't mean much.
Yeah. So what was actually going on then? If you can explain to me, I don't know. The Germans were over at the other side.
Germans on the other side, and because the Ilmo 2 was a dominant feature, they could look down into Caen, which we didn't take for a long time, which we all should have did then. And eventually they were forced to pull out, so we were eventually, although we were expecting quite a battle to get over the top, eventually we just walked over the top and nothing the other side. Right. So it was just,
So how long were you part of the barrage against 112? How long were you there?
Oh, a couple of weeks, I think.
Right. And then you went up the hill, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was that like? Was this a planned attack?
Well, it was all planned attacks. It eventually led up to the Battle of the Fallies, which was the Fallies Gap.
So you drove your carrier up one eventually, yeah. And where had the Germans pulled back to then? They'd retreated to Caen, had they?
No, they didn't tell me.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Eventually, they pulled back towards the Falaise. I think the Canadians come down from the north, and the Americans come up from the south, and they closed the gap. Well, I don't think they really completely closed it, but they done a lot towards closing the gap, and then our planes, typhoons, really went to town and knocked out everything they could. So it's just carnage on the other side.
So you went over the top of 112, and where did you go from there? Did you?
Well, eventually, after a lot of skirmishes, we up sticks and charged off right across France into Belgium.
Right. Just getting back to the Falaise Gap. Did you go through the gap?
Yeah.
After
As I said, after the complete carnage, because the Germans relied tremendous amount on horses for the transport, and the horses find them everywhere. The flies and smell of.
What did that make you think about, war?
It didn't make me feel anything. I think, I think the feeling was that they started it. It's their bad luck, I suppose, or something like that.
So you went through the Falaise Gap, and where to then?
Well, then, as I said, eventually, it was a big chase across France.
Do you remember any particular incidents or days or?
Yeah, I think one of the things which is quite, I think you've seen it on various newsreels of the goings on in war. But you get into one village and take the village, and then the big thing was the local population would drag out all the young girls who'd been associating with the German soldiers, and with no finesse, they just hack their hair off and all, whether they hack the flesh as well, it doesn't matter. That's all barbaric. Pardon?
Did you see that happen?
Yeah, I think it's barbaric.
So you were driving through, seeing this happening round.
Yeah.
That must have been quite distressing, really.
It was, but again, the funny thing was you get liable to get more damage from the civilian population than the Germans, because they throw flowers, apples, pears, anything at you, and
they were that pleased to see you.
Yeah.
So did you feel like conquering heroes, with everyone?
No, I don't think I ever felt that way.
I mean, you didn't obviously see a lot of the civilian population, but did you get an idea as to how they'd been affected by the war, or they must have been quite short of food and so on.
I don't think so. I think because France is very self-supporting in their produce.
The French had managed fairly well.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Was there a lot of destruction of the villages and towns?
The villages were close to the front line. Were quite a lot of damage and destruction there, but that was only in the early stages. Up to Falaise. After that, it was pretty. All the Germans were doing then was delaying tactics. So there was no set piece attack. So he wasn't calling down shell fire on any particular village or mortar fire on a particular village, and so they got off quite lightly, should we say.
What was the comradeship like? You'd been in battle for a while with the same people, hadn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
A real group.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Speed of corps, they call it.
I suppose that was quite important, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
You got through it together.
Yeah.
Did you lose anyone on your carrier?
Got wounded, quite a few of them. I know, because again, it's a strange thing, is that way back in France, when we just began to push out of it, because not necessarily looting, because there's nothing there to loot, but we go scrounging around houses, and I didn't realise it, but somebody came back, wanted to carry it up the front. Chap said, well, I can drive it, so he drove it up there. I should have been driving it up there. And he backed into it somewhere, and he got blown up on it on a mine. And he severely damaged both legs. The chap out in front of him, directing him, lost the sight of both eyes. All I can think of is, from there, for the will of God, do I go away. There we are.
It was rather random, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Injury. I mean,
yeah.
There didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, I suppose. Yeah. What was the closest you came to getting injured?
I don't know. I mean, you come under motor fire, and they could have gone either way. I know one time in France, you hear them coming down, and of course you died into a slit trench, and I lost my helmet in the dive, and I never found it again. So I don't know whether it got blown up or what.
I mean, were you able to get equipment replaced?
Oh yes, yeah.
Was it all quite well organised?
It was. I mean, everything was well organised. The bath units were well organised, except they couldn't organise the weather. It was freezing, but that's then you go into the bath unit and you go in, tip all your dirty wash on that side and come out with all clean wash on that side. It was always very well organised.
Yeah. Did you ever see any officers? Did they come round?
Oh yes.
On a regular basis?
Yeah.
Did they feel as though there was a big gap between the officers and the men? I mean, the officers had quite different conditions, didn't they, in pay and everything else?
Yeah, but I don't think they do in France. They had the same rations, the same 24-hour man packs, and
so it was more comfortable sort of relationship once you were in France with the officers, was it? Yeah. Did you see anything of the padres in the field? Did they come?
Yes, he came. He hold his church service, and
Can you remember your padre?
I can remember. I can't remember his name.
What sort of a chap was he?
He was a good Welshman. Well, we insisted on that.
Church of Wales, was it?
No, I don't know. He was probably so. Well, it's not. He never. He was all Church of England, never Church of Wales. They couldn't have a sort of thing like that going on.
So when he came round, would he take a service or?
Oh yes.
On a Sunday or any?
Oh, any day, but always on a Sunday.
Did a lot of people attend them?
Yeah.
Do you think more attended them when they were in battle?
Yeah, I think so.
They say there's not many agnostics on the battlefield, don't they?
Yeah, they're not. They've prayed to God any time.
What did you think of the Padre? Was he brave?
Yes, I think they were. They were all brave. Padre, doctors.
So, what contact did you have with the RAMC, the medical people? Did you see much of them when you were in France?
No, not really. They were, I won't say miles behind the line, but they were always a little way behind the line. We had our own stretcher bearers was our immediate contact with the medical people.
So if someone was injured, then the stretcher bearer would be called for,
yeah,
and he would take them back.
Yeah.
What was the general opinion of the RAMC?
I know it's quite good, I would have thought. I must say, I can't ever given any really comment about the RAC.
But you thought they were quite well thought of at the time?
Yeah, I think they were, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you pushed on up through France. So where did you remember any other places? Incidents in France?
We were up to Antwerp.
Oh, yeah. What was going on at Antwerp when you got there?
Well, they wanted Antwerp too, so they had a port. And they were trying to get there to stop the Germans blowing up all the installations.
So you arrived at Antwerp eventually, did you?
On the outskirts. We never went into Antwerp.
Right.
And then we went backtracked down to Brussels, through Brussels.
What was it like seeing Brussels?
Oh, they're lovely. Again, it was the same as any village, only more so. Always people delighted to see one and wanted us to. I mean, if we left it to them, we'd never won the war because they would have stopped us going any distance. Trying to get through the other side was a heck of a job.
Was Brussels very damaged?
No, I don't think it was. I didn't see anything anyway.
So from Brussels you went where? I know it's difficult to remember.
It's difficult to remember. Yeah. We milled around it quite a lot. I can't remember which of the sequences.
So you did a lot of travelling and a lot of waiting, I imagine, did you?
Oh yeah. And I think the next, what was the places which we stopped and fought for or chased Germans out. But I think the next big place was in Holland. Was the Hertogenbosch.
Oh yes. Tell me about that. What did you know about it before you got there? Did you
not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. No. And I can't. We visited in a little village, a few miles from Hertogenbosch. I can't remember the name of the village. It's
What was your billet like?
Chicken shed.
With the chicken.
That was with the chicken. I mean, what survived the chickens was all right, but no, we roosted the chickens out, and we were quite happy. You had a roof over one's head, and that was made myself quite comfortable. But we were only there a couple of days, and.
Did you get any eggs?
Yeah, oh yes, so all the eggs, and we were short of a couple of chickens by the time we left as well.
Did you do much sort of foraging for food and supplementing?
There was no need to. We were by then we were on intermingle on some on fresh rations for a couple of days. Then what we call a 24-man pack for a couple of days.
You were in the chicken house for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you got an order to move, did you?
Yeah, we then got the order to move to take Hertogenbosch. I know again we moved up somewhere. We had our objective was something, a bridge over the river, whatever. I forget the name of the river. So we pushed on, and I mean the thing I remember that is all the spoils of all the remnants of war, the helmets, equipment. And of course, we were using flamethrowers, so there's always little fires going on somewhere or other.
So, what action did you actually take at Hertogenbosch? Did you?
Well, we took eventually we drove the Germans out. Eventually.
Were you going from house to house? I mean.
No, not necessarily. We were taking the bridge over the river. I suppose in some of because the Welsh regiment. There are Welsh Fusiliers are all involved in it, and I think some of them would have been house fighting.
So you took your bridge, all right?
Yeah. We got there, and eventually all the Germans withdrew.
Right. There was quite a lot of opposition, was there?
There was, yes. Yeah.
How long did that take?
I think about a week.
Right. You beat them down?
Yeah. Or burnt them out, one of them.
Yeah. So they were in houses, were they, on
the
opposite bank?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you cross the river? Was the bridge intact?
Or? I think we got there in time to take the bridge. Although the bridge was already wide up for blowing, they didn't. Somebody forgot to press the plunger, I think.
So, what state was the village of Hertogenbosch in?
In pretty bad state, I think, one way or another. Because we weren't very fussy. We had to get it, and that was it.
Did you see any of the people who lived there?
Didn't see any there and then, but we still do now. Keep quite a good relationship with them.
So, I mean, the town must have been devastated by the time.
Yeah, it was. Burning, this little fires going on everywhere.
So you were at Hertogenbosch for about a week then?
Yeah. We went then beyond Hertogenbosch, where the second ones went to.
So you spent how long at Hertogenbosch altogether, do you think?
Oh, about a week, I think.
Right. Yeah. And I suppose your little group, you changed quite a lot by the end of that, because it was a concerted effort, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did the officers or the NCO say to you? Sort of when finally you'd taken Hertogenbosch, was there an air of celebration or?
I think it was. I can't remember anybody coming around saying "well done." Just take it, accepted it. We done what we had to do.
So, did you get an idea of how grateful the local people were at the time?
Well, I didn't see many. I don't know where they all went to, but I didn't see any of them at the time. all I say, we saw them on much later in life.
What sort of a town was it?
I don't know, really. It's just not particularly anything about it. It's just,
So it was on a river?
It's on a river, yes. I think it's possibly more farming. There's all farmers around Scotland, around that area. When we left Sir Hurtgenbosch, we went up trying to stop the Germans' retreat, and we stayed in a farmhouse.
Whereabouts was that?
I can't remember the name, honestly. It's
so
northeast west of Sir Hurtgenbosch.
Right. Was the farmer and his family still there?
They're still there, yeah, and all the cows are still there, and we slept in the cow shed, which was very warm. They had quite a good system, I think. They have the cow shed attached to the house, and it kept through the heating.
Yeah. So, what was their attitude to you, the farmer and his wife? Were they?
They're quite pleasant to us.
They saw you as liberators, did they?
Yeah, something like that. Again, I didn't have any conversation. I couldn't anyway. Can't speak the language, so I think they were quite good to us.
So how long were you there?
Only a few days, I'm sure. And I can't remember where we went to after that. It's that'll be coming on now towards the end of the year, wouldn't it? It's
It was getting colder.
Colder, yes. And I think the next, I missed a thing, but I think the next big step was we should have been coming down into Louvain for Christmas.
That's what you were told, was it?
That's what we were told, but the Germans went and stopped it, because they'd done their offensive down in with Battle of the Bulge, and we got called down to there. We didn't do a lot of fighting down there, but we did some. And as you said, it was cold.
What was the area like?
Very bleak, very. It's covered in snow.
Was it forested or?
It's more forest than anything else.
So did you saw some of the Americans there?
Yep.
Was that the first sort of American troops you'd seen in action?
They were well equipped. They had all the necessary equipment they wanted. But I always felt that they wanted to be in a group. They never sort of. They felt safer in a gaggle of them.
Oh right, yeah. Because I suppose you were doing a lot of your British soldiers who were more little units, weren't you? Sort of knowing exactly what you were doing. That's interesting that they worked in.
But I think the emphasis was always on British soldiers spread out.
Not something they did naturally. They didn't.
No, they.
Yeah. What about clothes? Did they have special clothes for the winter weather?
Well, the soldiers.
The Americans.
British. I suppose they did. They always had.
Did you get issued with any special clothes? Or?
Not really. Long johns, I think.
But basically the same uniform as you started off in?
Yep.
Really? Yeah. So what action did you see there then? What were you actually doing?
Sort of quite a bit. Again, is trying to drive the Germans out, and they obviously were doing anything to try and delay in tactics. And I know a couple of our sections got cut off, and they just had to stay the night in freezing cold because they couldn't get anything up to them, couldn't get anything out from them. They just survived.
Where were you sleeping at this time? When you were still
out in the open?
Yeah. How bad was that?
It wasn't very pleasant.
Did you complain a lot to each other, or?
Oh, it was the attitude of the British soldiers to moan like hell and get on with it.
So how long were you there fighting in these?
A couple of weeks down there.
You were quite a veteran by this time, weren't you?
Yes.
So where to then?
I think we used to do is we go back up and fight the war now. We went back up to our little places, and I think then we just started worrying about or thinking about crossing the Rhine or the Reichswald. I think the Reichswald come next, which was
That was
horrible.
Christmas time, was it?
But winter time is the ground was all soggy and muddy.
So the Reichswald, a lot of people have said, was a horrible experience.
It was because obviously we're going through woods, and the shell in, the mortar in, would make it wouldn't. It burst in the trees, so he would get showered with shrapnel all the time. And again, I emphasise that the German soldier, although he was retreating and he was on the losing end, he was a very good soldier. He didn't give up very easily.
Did you have a respect for him as a soldier?
Yes. I always say, and I say always, thank God for Hitler. If he'd have let the generals fight the war, I don't think we would have got as far as we did. But he insisted on running things his way, and that's where he went wrong.
Yeah. So I can imagine, there's quite dense forest. Could you see where the Germans were? Or?
No, not until they started firing. Because the weather didn't help at all. It looked awful because all the trees were stripped of branches, or shrapnel had cut them down, and
very cold.
Yeah, wet and damp, cold. Yeah.
What were conditions like underfoot? I suppose it's quite difficult.
Very difficult.
So how difficult was it to move your vehicle? Were you getting trouble with the...
They got in trouble all the time. The tracks would come off. You'd have to break the tracks and see with the handbrakes, get over the sprocket, rev it on to get it taut, and jam on the brake, and hopeful then you could rejoin the tracks and get on the move again.
So
but it was the same with the tanks. They had trouble getting bogged down.
So you were able. I mean, you knew your vehicle mechanically very well, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I suppose it was all part of keeping it going, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How good were the Bren carriers?
I don't know. The Bren carriers, they were reasonable vehicles. Eventually, we had a new vehicle to tow in the 6-pounder guns, which was a much better one than what they used to call the Lloyd Carrier. And that wasn't bad at all. They were quite good.
What sort of conditions were you sitting in when you were driving it? I mean, what was it like to be in one? I've never been in one.
Well, the condition is you just sat in the middle of it, and you had a very thin plate of armour around you. I doubt if it would have stopped high-velocity bullets, and certainly wouldn't stop anti-tank weapons.
How easy were they to drive?
Oh, quite easy, I think.
Can you remember any particular incidents in the Reichswald?
Yeah, I got I don't blame you. See, once you're in there, all the soldiers want to get off and they'll walk, but I had to stay in there and drive. And I hear the whoosh, you hear a shell going whoosh, and they all tell me that I forget what they call it, a German handheld rocket launcher thing. Thank God he missed. He went over the top of me. But they all say that it was one fired at me, and
why did they get out and walk? They thought it
was
safer.
Right.
So you were a bit of a sitting target, really.
Yeah.
So I suppose you couldn't see the Germans, could you?
You couldn't see, no.
See them at all, yeah. So you'd no idea how close they were, really. So did you do a lot of stopping and firing, or?
Oh yeah, there's the firing all going, small arms fire, rifles and Bren guns going all around you.
Did you ever kill a German?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I fired at them. I always assumed that I would have hit them, but I never stopped one round and look, are you dead? And no, I just honestly don't know.
Yeah. Is war actually like what you see in the films?
I suppose it is. Yeah. Only the good side always wins, and it's not always the case.
So how long did the Reichswald action go on?
I think about a week, 10 days.
And how far did you progress in that time? Did you move a lot?
Well, we moved quite a bit. I know deeper into there, you know. But we were just on the borders of Germany then. By the time we got through them, there was divisions on the left and on the right, and I admire them very much. The 15th Scottish. They always went into any battle with their bagpipes playing, and I bloody admire that man. God.
It was quite inspiring, I should think, wasn't it?
It was, but I wouldn't give much for his life.
So you had the 15th Scottish one side.
Right, and I forget the other ones on the other side.
So where to after the Reichsfeld? Crossing the Rhine? Do you know where you crossed the Rhine?
No, I don't know. It's
Somewhere
between Goch and Cleve, somewhere around that area.
Right, yeah.
I don't know whether I think I got a bit ahead of me because intermingled with that was the bridge too far Arnhem business.
Yes, yeah. What did you know about that?
And then we didn't realise what was going on. And we were out of the line at the time, and sometime, I don't know what time of the day, I don't know, but seen all these aircraft going over, gliders. Well, the language wasn't very sweet, but what the hell's going on there? And of course, we eventually heard that it was the bridge at Arnhem.
Right. What did you see? Did you see the parachutes?
No, we didn't see. No, we were quite well back. We just see the gliders going over there.
You heard that it wasn't a success.
Yeah.
What effect did that have on your morale?
A lot of city buggers, I think we called them. No, it didn't. I don't think that had any real effect. I think we knew we were winning and we would win. I think we all, by and large, said about General Montgomery. He made a field marshal as he was then. He made a nonsense of that lot, didn't he? Because we blamed him not having the intelligence to know that what the Germans are doing.
So then the Rhine, crossing the Rhine.
Yeah.
How did you literally get across it?
With boats.
On boats.
Yeah.
What sort of a boat?
Flat bottom boats. They just canvas sides and the flat planking on the bottom, and just rode like hell and hope we could get across there before the Germans would walk up to it.
Yeah. That's with your carrier on it, was it?
No, we didn't take the carriage. We just get the 6-pounder on there.
Right. And you got over.
We got over it.
Or?
By the time we got there, it was daylight. And obviously the next thing was to enlarge the bridgehead, make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and then, because by then the Royal Engineers would come up and build a bridge over, which they were very good at doing that. Fair play to them.
You were quite impressed with the engineers, were you?
Yeah.
Well organised lot.
Yeah, the first time we really come into contact with them was as we crossed over the Seine, because the Germans had blown all the bridges up before they left, and the engineers built a Bailey Bridge across the Seine, which was very good there.
So as you got over the Rhine, where did you go then?
Well, I don't know where, but I think one of again I may be mixed up, but Lüneburg Heath, past the concentration camps, which we knew nothing about what was really going on in there.
Did you hear anything at the time?
No, I didn't hear anything. No.
Right, okay.
And the next thing of any importance is across the River Aller. I think it was Aller, A-E-L-L. Yes, I think that. On a place called Retham. By then, I think it was held by German Marines, because in front of it is just wide open spaces and no cover, no nothing. The Welsh regiment tried it and they got slaughtered, so they pulled out. Then the Monmouthshire regiment had to go. They got so far down, and they withdrew, and they said, we'll draw and we'll have to go next day. And fortunately, we had to go the next day, and the Germans had gone because they would get outflanked if to stay where they were. So it was nice to be able to walk in there and not have to worry about where.
Where to after that?
Well, it just coming to a close then. We suffered some casualties, I think, because, you got going to attack some place. You'd have shell fire, or in this case, they had the Vickers machine guns doing a creeping barrage. And you had to, I forget, something, move so many yards in such a time. Well, I think by then they're all getting a bit anxious, it's nearly over, and they started bloody running. And of course they run into their own machine gun fire. And I think that was about the last battle we fought in. And then we went up to Hamburg, on the outskirts of Hamburg.
So what state was Hamburg in? Did you see much of
it? It is a disgusting state. Everything's bombed, shattered. Families are still living in the ruins.
Did you find it quite shocking, really?
They had very little food, if any. I think we used to give them what we didn't want, we'd give them.
So by the time you got to Hamburg, I mean,
we knew
what date was that, do you know?
No.
Was the war in Europe officially over by then?
Yeah, it was officially over then.
Right. Where were you when VE Day?
VE or VJ?
VE.
Oh, in Hamburg, Hamburg. Just on the outskirts of Hamburg.
Yeah. What were you doing there? Were you just resting, or were you...
No, just police in the area. I think then there's a feeling of, what now, you know, the end of the war, what do we do now? What's you almost as though you missed it.
Because you spent a good while coming up, hadn't you, through Europe?
Yeah.
Nearly a year?
Well, it was, and I mean, with the exception of the odd day here and there, you were in battle virtually for the whole year.
How old were you?
If I tell you won't tell you. No, I was I joined when I was 17 and a couple of months. And I've always been saying if I admit there, when they call me up for a couple of months to do my service.
So you were 17 when you joined up.
Yeah.
So only 2 years later. So you were
18 and 19 then, yeah.
So you're quite a veteran soldier at 19, weren't you?
Yeah.
So what was the mood in Hamburg? I mean, the civilian population must have been...
Oh, we had nothing to do with them. Well, when I say that, we're in a ruin of a house. She was a woman and a daughter. If we had anything like a tin of sardines thing left over, we give it to them, you know, and they were always most grateful for anything.
What was their attitude to you?
I don't think it was hostile. I don't know. You see, Hitler himself, I think he'd done a heck of a lot for Germany. I mean, you know, after the First World War, they were down on the grovelling, and he picked them up and raised them up and brought them up to a tremendous morale standard. And I think my own opinion is if you hadn't tried to invade Russia, and you had all the troops, we would have never got off the beachheads. And same again. We had this deception going about another army waiting to cross over in Cali area, and he kept some of his divisions back there. If the generals had their way and released them, we would have been struggling again.
Did you see, I mean, there were obviously Germans in Hamburg, but did you see displaced persons as well?
No, we were from Hamburg, we went down to just outside Düsseldorf. And we were then responsible for guarding displaced persons and feeding them and trying to keep them under control.
How difficult was that?
Almost impossible, I think. They thought we owed them a living and we thought we didn't, and try to get them in discipline, tell them they could do this and do that, and they couldn't go out down to the pubs and things like that.
Where were they living?
In the camp. No, in the camp which we built.
Right.
All around barbed wire. And
what, did they have wooden huts inside?
Yeah.
So much like an army camp.
Yeah.
Where did they all come from?
Russia, mainly, I think.
So you didn't feel... Did you feel this was a job you should be doing?
Not really, but we were told we got to do it, so that was it. We went on and done it.
What did you want to do now the war was over?
I don't know. This was it, the anticlimax almost. Now what the hell do we do? I don't know.
Were people hankering to get back home?
Oh, yeah. And I don't know whose wisdom it was, but from there, outside Düsseldorf, we moved down to Italy.
To Italy?
Italy, yeah. First of all, we went into Milan, and then down to Genoa.
That's a bit of a change of scene.
It was, yes. I never knew why we went down, because we didn't do anything when we went down there.
So you went to Milan first?
Yeah.
What, you went into a camp there, did you?
Or? Yeah, in the barracks.
And you waited
and then again from there we went down, they told to go down to Genoa.
What did you do there?
Nothing.
Yeah. How did you get there, overland or?
Yeah. Don't know. We went from North France on what they call the Medlock. It was the Mediterranean run. Quite pleasant because we went down through Switzerland. And we say, you will not look out of any of the windows. And we bloody well did, of course. But it looked very, after all the devastation, it looked very pretty. We were going to all the lights up in the chalets looked twinkling.
Yeah. So you saw quite a lot of Europe, didn't you?
I did, yes. Oh, yes.
For a boy from the valleys.
Yeah, yes. I've seen a lot of the world, quite honestly.
So what was Genoa like?
It's all right. There's nothing like any other, like London or any other big city, I think.
So you didn't do anything while you were at Genoa?
No.
Have you any idea why they sent you? Did they have something in mind, you know?
No.
No. Just the British Army?
That's right. I don't think anybody knew why or had any ideas.
So you were in Italy altogether about a year.
Yeah.
And you came back to where?
To Warminster. The army, in all their wisdom, decided that being a regular soldier, I should go on a course, a small arms course, which is most unfair because all the rest of the students on the course were instructors from their depots who were instructing in small arms, and I'd never done any of it. I didn't have a clue about it.
And you've done small arms in training, had you?
Yeah, but it's different between the small arms and instructing on it.
Yeah. So why did they pick you then?
Because I was a regular soldier.
Right. So all the other people that you were with went off for demob, did they all?
Yeah, oh yeah. Eventually they had this system of numbers, group so and so. It depends on how early you joined, what group you were demobbed with.
But you knew you weren't going to be demobbed?
No, I wanted to be, no.
Had you been conscious when you enlisted that you'd signed up?
No, it didn't worry me at all. It didn't.
Yeah. So you did small arms?
Small training, yeah.
Was that in Bisley?
No, in Warminster.
Yeah, right. What was the camp like at Warminster?
Oh, very good, very good. It's purposely built as a school of infantry.
Mm-hmm. Who was your immediate superior there?
I haven't got a clue.
Do you remember any of the officers?
No.
Uh-huh. So this training course, how long does it take?
8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And what sorts of things did they actually teach you?
Well, teach you all the principal methods of instruction. They would teach you with one of the particular weapons, then you would have to do it yourself with the class.
Uh-huh.
But
so who was in the class? Were these
all students from around the country?
Right.
And as I said, they were all students who were in their depots and were doing that then, which was the biggest advantage to them.
They must have realised that you were a good shot.
I don't think I had any bearing on it.
Really? Oh. So how did you get on with all the other people on the course?
Right, they almost think I thought I was an idiot, I should think. Because they were all doing it already. I didn't have a clue what they was all about. I found it a struggle, and I was glad when it was all over, quite honestly. Then I went back to the depot in Brecon, and then they told the company commander that I thought it was a waste of time, that it was most unfair. And he said, right, Chandler, we'll put you on a course. So we done what's called a regimental cadre, and that was much better, because I was a much better insight in what it was all about.
Right, so what was that exactly? I don't know.
It's teaching you how to instruct.
And they called that a regimental cadre, did they? And that was, you did that in Brecon?
In Brecon, yeah.
So what did they actually do? What did they actually teach you?
Well, teach you how to, all the aspects of a rifle, of a brain gun, a Sten gun, all small arms, mortars, all field craft.
So the army must have thought quite a lot of you to spend all this time having you in...
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that question, no.
Well, they must have done, mustn't they?
Yeah.
What was it like to be back at Brecon now? I mean, you'd been there as a trainee, hadn't you, as most junior?
Yeah, it is quite strange, really. Brecon hadn't changed. There weren't so many soldiers around as there was when I was there, but other than that, it hadn't changed, really.
But you were back as a sort of a veteran soldier, and
I had my medal ribbons up, you know. And,
Did you feel a bit proud about that?
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
So, when you finished doing this training, what did you do then?
Well, then I became instructor in the Brecon or down lanes, whichever.
So you stayed at Brecon. Were you still with the second Mons?
No, I went from Italy with the second Mons, and I stayed in Brecon as an instructor until 1953.
Right. So were you attached to a regiment?
Well, my parent regiment was the South Wales Borderers.
Right. Okay. So you were an instructor. Is that a weapons instructor? Or?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you were there until
1953.
53. Right. Okay. And what did you do then?
When I was doing the instructing, at that time the Korean War was on, and we had a special company and training recruits for Korea. Mm-hmm. And I think that was one of the most rewarding periods of my instructions, because I knew there was a definite purpose in life. And when they come back, they used to come and talk. I used to come and talk to them, and they, by and large, they would say yes. The training held them in good stead for the Korean War.
So these lads who were going to the Korean War, where had they come from? Were they on the basic training?
Regiment from South Wales, and they were
doing their basic training.
Yeah.
Right. So it's exactly where you'd been.
Yeah.
10 years before, wasn't it? Yeah. What did you feel about them going out to Korea? Because some of them were conscripts, weren't they?
Oh yeah. I think the conscripts. Later on in life, we in Malaya, the communist terrorists, they wanted to dominate Malaya, and obviously it wasn't our advantage for them to do so. So we having a battle with them. I had a company there then. Most of my company were national servicemen, and they were fine young men. They had initiative. They used to go out in the jungle and not get lost like I would do.
So you got back to Brecon, and you were instructing there. And
you were instructing in recruits in Brecon and in the Iron Lines.
Yeah, and a lot of these were going to Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about the Korean War? Because we'd just done the Second World War, and now
I didn't think much. I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was another virtually civil war going on in north and south, and that we were sending soldiers there. And I was quite surprised afterwards that there was quite a lot of the Welsh regiment got killed in the Korean War.
And some of the lads you trained.
Yeah.
What was there anything different in the training that you were doing for Korea than you had done in the Second War?
Not really. It's just a matter of making sure they could shoot straight and fast. So that was about it, but honestly.
Was there any, they must have learnt some lessons from fighting in the Far East in the Second War about the way the weapons behaved or how you could use them in those sort of
Well, we still use the same weapons. No, there's no different weapons. They're still the same ones.
Right. How many people were there at any one time?
I don't know, because they were still trained for the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, the Welsh Regiment, South Wales Borders, and also they were doing training for potential officers.
So were you teaching the potential officers as well?
I didn't, but they would. That's what they do in the Iron Lines.
So was it very different to the way things were in the Second War?
No, I don't think so. No.
Had many people stayed on as regulars?
I honestly don't know. None as I knew. If they joined the duration, or they were called up, and invariably, once that was over, they had enough that they wanted to get back to civic life. Couldn't get back fast enough in most cases.
Yeah. Did you regret staying on at all?
Never.
Right. You liked the army?
Oh, I loved it. Yes. I suppose I come from the valleys. I didn't have anything of a good education, but it made me realise the importance of education, and I was able to give my 4 sons a good education. So I got something to be thankful for, shall we say.
When did you get married?
1947.
So that was when you were... Where were
in
you?
Iron Lines.
Sorry?
In Brecon.
Yeah, right, yes. Your wife was a local girl?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So what was it like? When you got married, did you move into married quarters, or...?
No, we had a house a small house in Brecon. Eventually we went over to Germany.
When was that?
In the Minden. I was in 1953.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what were you doing there?
Well, just part of the battalion then.
Yeah, and you were still with the South Wales Borderers?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what was the battalion doing in Minden?
Well, I suppose that there was the Cold War was still going on, so we were training to take up defensive positions in case the Russians did attack. I'd have to think what would have happened if the Russians had attacked, but there we are.
Did your wife go over with you?
Oh yes. That's my wife died, unfortunately, and
right.
But she was quite. I think after that was in 1953, 54, and I think she was playing a soldier's wife for about 12 years. And I think by the time she got that stage, she got fed up of being a soldier. She wanted her own home, and settle down and be a normal person, if that's the right expression. Which we did, and unfortunately, it didn't last very long. There we are.
Yeah. So how long were you in Minden?
I tried to find my discharge book, and I can't find it. So it got all the dates in it. Roughly 2 years, I think, probably a bit longer.
And what happened then?
We went to Malaya then, where the Chinese that we armed during the war, they still had their weapons, and they wanted to take over the country. They were a murderous blooming lot. They just shot the plantation men out of hand, and our job with them was going to protect the plantation men and chase the bandits into the jungle, which was good fun in some ways.
Yeah. So whereabouts in Malaya did you go when you first went?
Sigamat, in Johor Bahru mainly. Mainly in southern Johor Bahru.
And what were you actually doing? Were you on a bread carrier?
No, just normal soldiers. I was at Company Sergeant Major by then.
You were a Company Sergeant Major. When did you get promoted?
In Minden.
So you were a Company Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
Me. It's a long way for that little boy from the valleys who liked
it was really, yes. Yeah.
So how did you get on? As a
well, as I said, it was mainly chasing the bandits, or Connos terraces they were called, and we gone out into the jungle, living in the jungle, and this is what, as I said earlier, where I had the company, is about 99% of them were national servicemen, and they were very, very good. They had a purpose in life, the purpose thing they were in the army for to do, and they did it very well.
Because sometimes regular soldiers looked down on the conscripts a bit, didn't they? The national servicemen. I
think the conscripts looked down on the regular soldiers, quite honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't know why, but from my point of view, all the regular soldiers I had were not very good. I used to leave him back in camp and do all the chores, the cleaning, and what have you. And all the national servicemen went into the jungle.
Really?
They became the NCOs of the company.
Because some of them were more educated, weren't they?
Oh, they were. Yes, they were. I mean, the regular soldiers, didn't say it, they were not very well educated. I think invariably they were people who couldn't find good jobs in civilian life, so they joined the army.
So you were doing jungle warfare now?
Yep. We go into the jungle, tracker dogs. We also had some Sarawak Rangers who were supposed to be very good at tracking in the jungle, but so
were they good?
No, not really.
So what training had you had for jungle warfare? Because you'd been on the plains of Europe, hadn't you?
Yeah. We had none other than what the company trained each company.
Well, when you got out there, did you have any training?
No, we had training in a place called Nisun, which was a jungle warfare. I think the one thing they didn't teach us how to get rid of leeches, because you go in the jungle and in no time at all your body was covered in the blasted things.
So how did you get rid of them then?
Hopefully let them drop off. Otherwise, if you try to knock them off, you leave it part of it there, and you end up having a scab or something in your body. Other than that, you use a cigarette end, and they burn the back end of it, and they drop off. But it's the same way within. It was all good because we used to send out patrols into the jungle, and this is why I say the national servicemen, they were very good. They could read a map, they could go into the jungle, and they could find their way back. So we were sat, should say, myself, the company commander, some others, the clerks, and we'd be sitting in our headquarters in the jungle, getting all these messages in. Somebody got a contact, then he would send out more patrols and all. I found it quite very interesting.
Did you go out on patrol?
Oh, yes.
You'd lead?
Yeah, well, I know, lead me, I think. I'm terrible at map reading.
That must have been tremendously nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah,
because it's easy to get ambushed.
Well, you know, because I think we were lucky, because by the time we got there, the regiment, the communist terrorists had just about been beaten. So they weren't very fussy about attacking us, because we know we had a bit of firepower than they had, and they would most probably get killed. So we had the easy troops, I think.
What was your headquarters like? You say headquarters. What was it?
Well, when we were in the jungle, it was just a clearing in the jungle.
And what would you have there? Tents or?
No. You'd make what they call bashes. You used to have a ground sheet. We just put it over the top so and keep the rain off. That was about it.
Yeah. And what were you eating?
Again, back on the compo rations, 24-man packs, which was got very boring after a while.
Very but it's hard living conditions.
Yes. I think this is why I'm deaf now. I think I was washing in swamp water. Possibly I didn't dry my ears out properly, and I think I developed a fungus or something in the ear, and eventually perforated the eardrum. And that's why I wear a hearing aid now, which is not very good, but there we are.
Did you suffer much ill health while you were in Malaria?
Oh, not really, no. I suffer more than these days when I'm getting older than what I ever did when I was in the army.
Yeah. So how did your soldiers take to the stress of jungle warfare? Did they?
They took it very well. I think quite a lot of them used to love going in the jungle. I mean, you know, they wouldn't say that discipline is still there, but they didn't have somebody chasing around after them and make sure the bed's made up in the morning and any of that sort of thing, barrack room things. So I think they still enjoy it.
Was there still more? To me, it sounds more stressful to be in a jungle than it does to be in Europe.
Oh yeah, I think it was. I think also it's more stressful for me and the company commander, because there you had responsibility for the men, make sure they stayed healthy, and because they get all sorts of skin complaints out there, tinea, which is naturally skin rashes, and like I did, I had what they used to call it a compound worm. It's going to the body and just it goes all around, and you feel like scratching all day, and eventually I had to go down to hospital in BH Singapore. They had a panel of doctors there, and one suggested, well, should we cut it out? And fortunately the senior one said, oh no, he said, you can't do that. He said, because we were going to the body and you would never know which way it would go. And he said, we can never find it, because part of the body would die off and the other part would grow in a different direction. So what happened in the end is quite simple. They just froze it. And it killed it, so it was as easy as that.
How did they freeze it?
I don't know, they got some systems where like a little tube of very cold air or whatever. But it works.
Wow. So which company were you Sergeant Major of in Malaya?
D Company.
How did you have to teach your soldiers to keep themselves healthy in the jungle? You mentioned,
Well, make sure that they washed, showered, free from infection. I mean, it sounds important, but when they go out of a shower, we just stand and watch them. Quite simply as that, and it'll make sure that there was nothing sort of panel where there was anything wrong with them.
Did you have contact with the terrorists very often? I mean, did you take prisoners?
No, we didn't take prisoners. We had quite often had contacts. I think through contacts, I think we killed 5, but through with the liaison with the Air Force, we found the communist terrorists were in the jungle, and they were having a war group on a certain day, and we set up beams so that they could send a direction up to the aircraft, and the aircraft come over and they bombed the hell out of them. And then some jets of some sort came in behind them, machine gunned the area and all that. And then the one we were after, he still got away.
Did you have a lot of intelligence about particular people you were looking for?
Yes, the intelligence officer in Italian headquarters, he would have all that information. You get sympathizers or somebody on who didn't particularly like the Chinese. He would tell us as much of the information as we could.
Mm. What was the establishment at HQ? Company HQ?
Well, there was a company commander, altogether about 10. You wouldn't take all them into the... when we were in, so say, out from the jungle, we were in a company area, then you'd have about 10 to 15 in company headquarters, armed storemen, ration storemen, that sort of thing. When you go into the jungle, you only a company commander, myself, and possibly one of his batman. Must forget his batman. And
what was the company commander's name?
Dixie Dean.
Uh-huh. What did you think of him?
He was a grand man, he was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was a Sandhurst trained man, and I think there's always a difference then. But he used to have a hunting horn, and he would always rally his men around him with his hunting horn.
Why was he different being from Sandhurst? Were they different?
Oh yeah, they were a better class person. I mean, they weren't the riffraff, they were the gentlemen and officers.
Did you admire officers then and gentlemen, you know, if they were real officers and gentlemen?
It depends on the officer. I think somebody trained from Sandhurst is he got a better grounding.
So they were better to work for, really?
Yeah, I think so. Mm. And I think they would come to the battalion as young second lieutenants, and I think invariably if somebody come in and after a couple of days he'd size them up and say, "Oh yes, he'll go far." I like to think sometimes we were right, sometimes we were wrong as well, but there we are.
So tell me about going out on, say, one particular patrol. Can you remember going out with your commander and his batman?
Well, it is. You go out on a patrol. You go into search one particular area where you think maybe it looked like a likely area, and you would go forward in bounds, 10 yards, something like that, 20 yards. Stop, listen, see what you can see, and it was a very slow, tedious job, but at the same time, you did it properly, you could save your life. Because the terrorists in the beginning, they were very ruthless, and again, as I said, as they wore on, we killed quite a few of them, or quite a few of them got killed, and they didn't have many arms.
When you say they were ruthless, what do you mean?
They kill you, cut your throat at anything, because then they didn't care whether it's military or whether it's a civilian tapper. Because Malay is a rubber tapping country where they produce rubber, and the head man would be the manager, and he lived in an isolated bungalow, and they quite easily to attack him until they got wised up and started taking all the precautions.
Can you remember getting ambushed?
I didn't know that, honestly.
No, never.
No, but the Regimental Sergeant Major, we all laughed about it because he got ambushed, and of course we were all delighted about that.
Did he get hurt?
No.
No. All right. Yeah. So how long were you there?
We were there for 3 years altogether.
Oh right. So where were you actually stationed when you were in Malaya?
In Cliwang and Sigamat.
Oh yeah. Can you spell those for me?
Claun, I think.
Cliwang and
Segamet. I'm not sure of that.
Right. So were you? I mean, those were actual stations, were they? and then you were...
That's the area where the battalion, the companies, the 4 companies, would be scattered around the area.
Right. Okay.
The little company area of each of them.
Yeah. So 3 years you were out there.
Yeah.
It was a long time, wasn't it?
Yes, it's...
Did you get leave sometimes?
Not really. Yeah, we used to come down because the families were down in Singapore. Mm-hmm. So we used to get a long weekend every month and go down to see them.
What was Singapore like in those days?
Very, very nice. But we were out there quite recently. We went out to Australia, and we stopped off for 2 days in Singapore just to break the journey up. But where it was, I wouldn't say all jungle, that's far from the truth, but it's a concrete jungle there now. It's all massive skyscrapers, and I was good to see. My sons, the first 2 sons were born in down the road here in Upper Chapel, and of course they always talk to the 3rd son, because he was born in Hospital Changi. And I said, well, we go to Singapore, I'd go and visit it. But unfortunately, they pulled the blooming hospital down, and so I couldn't tell him all about the hospital now.
Mm. So all the families lived in army houses in Singapore, did they? Yeah. Was it a popular posting, Singapore?
For the families, I think they liked it, but I wasn't so sure about the soldiers. I mean, they used to get leave, they could go down to Singapore and leave. Which was virtually one good booze up in all for them. I think they used to like going down to Singapore.
Yeah.
It's
must have been a lot of British military in Singapore.
Oh, there was, and the various sectors of Singapore. It's Chinese, all sorts.
So it was quite a sort of place, Singapore. Then, I mean, taken over by the British, really.
Yeah, I did know and should know all the history of Singapore. Stamford Raffles, he set up the place. He brought in people to run businesses, and eventually became quite a port of importance.
What were the facilities like for families there?
Not a lot, really. If you wanted to go around town all the time, most of the time, it was quite good. Unless you were an officer or in the Sans Mess, they had somewhere to go. But the other ranks had the NAFI, which was never much good anyway. I mean, the swimming facilities were very good there. The sailing was quite good.
Did you do sailing there?
No, I couldn't swim. I still can't swim.
So what was the sergeant's mess like?
The best club in the world.
Was it?
It always is.
Yeah. Whereabouts was it?
I was within the regiment area.
And what sort of facilities did you have there?
I suppose the main thing is you get booze and booze and booze. But it depends on the committees. If you had a good committee, they would organise various trips, shows. And there's always somewhere to go, and they would organise it. That's the one thing I said about the army. There was always something to do the organising for one. By then, I developed this problem with my ear. I continually get discharged from it, and I was into base military hospital in Singapore. They couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't stop it. The climate was obviously very damp. The humidity was damp. So they decided, well, the best thing to do is send him home. So I came home, and the strange thing about it, I got posted to the 2nd Mons.
Oh, right.
Which is where it started.
Right. Let me just ask you about the hospital in Singapore. Was this a British Army hospital?
Yeah. Queen Anne nurses.
Oh, yeah, Queen Alexandra's nurses.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what was it like?
Like any other hospital, only more disciplined. I think they were good, but they couldn't do nothing with my complaint.
So you had your wife and children out there?
Yeah.
Yes, So were they sorry to come
home? I think my wife was glad to come home. I think miss the family and what have you. But I don't think children mattered either way. They quite enjoyed the sunshine, the warmth, the climate.
And they went to a British Army school,
yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was that good education?
I think it was. I think because the army schools could attract quite a good standard of teaching, because I imagine it's quite a good job for them. We come home from Singapore. We went out then to Brunswick, or I think it was in Brunswick first, then we went out to Minden afterwards.
Right. So from Singapore,
yeah,
you came back to.
You came back to Germany.
You went straight to Germany.
Well, we went to a camp. We went to Sunnybridge, which is just outside Brecon, for a month or so. Right. Reorganised the battalion, and then we went out to Germany.
Right. And where in Germany, sorry?
In Minden.
Minden again, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then my oldest boy, it was, as I was saying earlier on, I made sure that education is important. So I used to spend quite a lot of time with him, and he eventually, as it was then, he 11. I think it was called 11 plus, wasn't it? He passed at 11 plus. But then, of course, we went to Germany, which wasn't much good, because the primary schools in Germany was run by any teachers they could find, and all that Raymond was doing was helping the teacher, giving out books, collecting the books, and all that sort of thing. There was a very good school then down in Ham, which I virtually sent him down there.
So you went to a school
in Ham. This is down near the place where the Mona Dams were. I think I did wrong, because I just sent him there. That's it. You go in. I didn't sort of take him aside and tell him the reason why he had to go, because he couldn't get the education in the little school in the barracks. But as I said, I think it was a very good school, because they attracted good teachers.
So you've got 4 sons, have you?
I got 4 sons, yeah.
Yeah, and a daughter? Or?
No. Unfortunately, I never had a daughter. Yeah. Or a good thing, I think, because I've often thought about that in later years, because my wife died, now 30-odd years ago now. I had a young son then. He was just about 18 months when she died. And I often think, what had I done if she'd been a daughter? Because the boy, I coped no problem. With a young girl, it may have been difficult, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, this is the thing about the school. Eventually, the next posting I got was to RSM in the Junior Leaders Regiment School in North Wales.
Oh, right. In whereabouts in North Wales?
Tywyn. Don't ask me to spell it, because I'm not going to.
So you are RSM now?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Junior Leaders.
The Junior Leaders Regiment in Tywyn.
So what was that like? This is more promotion.
Yes.
We're doing well. Yeah. What year was that then?
Oh, God.
So you were out in Singapore till what, 58?
Yeah.
So it'd be 59, 60, something
so
like that?
It was about 60, I would think.
Yeah. So tell me about the Junior Leaders Regiment then.
Well, they were all selected young men. I think that'd be 16 at least, who they probably thought they had potential as being junior leaders. And I think they were. I think they were very good. I enjoyed it.
What sort of lads were they? Had they been lads who'd done
No, they were just normal lads who decided they wanted to join the army, and because at that age, then they could join as a regular young, what do they call them, young soldier anyway. Mm. But as they went there, then they would get tested, and they possibly would decide, well, this one could be a potential junior leader.
Mm. So what sorts of things were they learning? Were they? They weren't.
Well, they had a normal education. They had quite a large education staff there.
So it's like just a boarding school and the army mixed up, was it?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they done very well, because again they used to have a passing out parade every year. I think it was every year, and they used to do a passing out parade which was similar to what they do in Sandhurst when the officers pass out, and the young cadets would control the whole thing. They would. I mean, we would spend a lot of time teaching them what to do and how to do it. But after all, they'd say the oars go on, and they would do a very good job of it.
Right. So, what was your role as RSM?
Discipline again, and the final say, no, anything to do with the drill.
Did you stand on the parade ground and shout?
Shout, yeah. Yeah, and I think I quite enjoyed it, because they were all keen young men. I mean, obviously we got the bad egg in the year and there, but by and large they all wanted to become young soldiers. The Colonel Commandant and me didn't agree very well.
What was his name?
I don't know. I forget it all, but I didn't want to know.
No.
Lake, I think it's Lake. I don't know.
You didn't get on with him too well then?
No. And of course, whatever we are, you've got to find annual assessment report. The adjutant read it out to me, and he says something about the stature of this warrant officer doesn't lend himself to be a regimental sergeant major of a junior leader regiment. I said, stop, that's enough, I'm going. And I could have been court-martialed there and then, because I just left and went back down to Brecon, see the colonel, brigade colonel, and told him. Actually, it all fitted in very well, because at that time the regimental sergeant major of the depot had just been promoted, had just been commissioned, so there was a vacancy, so I had that. And the colonel said, well, right, Mr. Chandler, what sort of man does he want? And I said, someone who's 6 foot, I suppose. And they promoted, names are gone, he promoted the sergeant major, and he went up there. I went back to the depot and...
Yeah. How tall are you?
I think if I stretch, about 5'4".
Yeah, right. So do you think your lack of height...
No, he just didn't like me, that was it. I haven't got them now, but I got letters from various people who come up and watch the passing out parade, and I mean, they just all of them full of praise, and I mean, not being big-headed, but it is a lot to do with my... teaching. No, I can just say from there, and I went back to Brecon, and within a matter of 6 months, the adjutant said to me, Mr. Chandler, do you want to go to the battalion? Which was now we're in Hong Kong. And of course I said, yes, please.
Right, okay. Let's just hang on the junior leaders, because I think, are they disbanded now, am I right?
Yes.
What do you think was good about them? I mean, what could they do which... other parts of the...
Well, they could have done that anywhere, I suppose. But there's a junior leaders regiment, artillery, infantry, tank corps. But these were selected because they had the intelligence, they had the ability. They were they give the impression they could do the job.
And I mean, you must have produced some good soldiers.
I think so. I like to think so anyway.
Yeah. They used to perform at the Royal Tournament, didn't they?
I don't know. I never see. Yeah, I should think so. Yes.
So you went back to Brecon.
Back to Brecon, and
then you went out to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, yeah.
With the battalion again.
Yep.
Yeah. And as what rank were you now?
RSM.
Still RSM, yeah. What were they doing in Hong Kong?
But mainly they always had a company up on the border with China, stop illegal immigrants getting in, and spying on what the other side, what they were doing if they could.
Was there much spying going on?
Yeah, you just always keep an eye on what they could see and what anything else. But I mean, if they wanted to, the Chinese could have walked into Hong Kong at any time. We could have stopped them.
Was there a big garrison there in Hong Kong? I mean,
no, there was two or three infantry regiments and about 2 or 3 regiments of Gurkhas.
Where were you based?
Up in Stanley Fort, on the tip of Hong Kong.
So what was life like there?
I liked it. A lot of the young wives didn't like it.
Why was that?
I don't know. It'd be too far from home, I think. My wife then would be, with the commanding officer's wife, would be, I won't say responsible, but would spend a lot of time going around all the families and see that they listen to all their complaints and see what they could do for them. And I think she enjoyed that.
So there was a lot of your work was keeping an eye on how things were going.
Yeah.
Who was your commanding officer?
Colonel Everill. Yeah.
Was he a nice chap?
Yes. He had Colonel Everill, then Colonel Somerville. His family is very traditionally naval chaps.
Do you remember what year you went out to Hong Kong? About 61?
About 63, I think. 63.
Yeah. So how long were you there for?
I think about 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Did you
because the regiment had been there for about 12 months before I got out there.
Did you enjoy it there?
Oh, yes.
Was it quite
like a peacock, you see. I mean, all my job was guards of honour, as Judy always tells me, not honour. Any ceremonial parades, all dressed up in my best beaver and tacker. And
who would you do guards of honour for?
Any visiting dignitary.
So you enjoyed it out there?
Yep. Yeah.
And then the tour of duty came to an end, did it?
Yeah. We come back then to England, the Lid. Down in Kent.
Yeah, that was about 65, yeah. And how long were you there?
Well, I finished my army service there. By then, my dear lady said, "Come on, I've had enough of this. I'd like to have a house and settle down." So the telling was then going out to Aden. So I said, "I'll go to Aden, and then I'll hand her my notice." So we agreed to that. And I enjoyed Aden. It's a lovely warm climate.
So what was going on in Aden then?
More terrorists.
More terrorists?
Yeah.
Right.
They
about 65 you went out there, was it?
Yeah.
Right. So what were you doing there?
Well, I was responsible for what they call the Mile a Mile. It was the main thoroughfare in Aden, and all the shops and above the flats, which were all occupied by servicemen, or their wives, I would say. And I would go and visit them every night, making sure they had no complaints, no problems. And we had a system where one of the family had to be on guard in each block. So I was to visit them and see that they're all in order.
What was the atmosphere like? It sounds quite tense.
I think the families got used to it after a while. They took no notice of it. Because when we went out there, each, like a block, then there'd be a gap, which anybody could walk through. Anybody could throw grenades through. So I didn't. The powers to be decided they would brick them up, stop people coming through willy-nilly, sure they. But all they used to do then would be, wasn't very successful, would be throw grenades over the walls. So we used to build a bit higher wall and make it more difficult.
So were there acts of terrorism while you were there?
Oh yes.
Like what?
They're throwing grenades over the wall. But no problems. They pick them up and throw them back again.
So your job really was looking
after the families, yeah.
Welfare, yeah. Do you think Aden was worth doing for the British?
Yeah, I think they were. I think for only for looking at the point of view, we had less and less places to go to for the British Army, because we haven't got many places left now which we can go to. I don't know if you heard it, but the Scottish, what was it? The Scots, I think it's the Argyll and Sutherland Islanders were out there, and the commanding officer, again I can't recall his name, decided that Crater was a part of Aden. It was virtually communist terrorists, the communists, not terrorists, the communists controlled it, and they wouldn't allow anybody in there. So the battalion commander, I think the powers to be decided they would agree with it, nobody to go in there. But that didn't satisfy the commanding officer. He said, "Come on, we'll clear it." And he went in, sorted it all out, and then got discharged for his pains. But he come home and then he was put up for Parliament, and he got a member of Parliament for somewhere up in Scotland. Mad Mitch, I think they used to call him.
Oh yes, Mad Mitch. So how long were you out in Aden?
But 18 months thereabouts.
So then you came back. That was the end of the tour of duty, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you came back to Britain?
Come back to Lyd and told the command officer I was going to finish, and that was it.
So what did you feel about leaving the army?
No, didn't have no regrets. No, I had no regrets joining. I had no regrets leaving.
Really?
I think now when I see something, I possibly get a regret or something happening, some parade or something like that, where nothing to do with me. Unfortunately, I would have liked to be sort of taking part in it. A couple of years ago, we done the public duties on the Buckingham Palace and St James's Palace. That's the time when I feel I would have liked to have been a part of it.
Yeah. So you left the army when you were what, 41, something like that?
Bit more than that, I think.
25 from 66. So what did you do then?
I got a job with the electricity board. I started off as a assistant storekeeper.
How did that feel after being in the
army? A bit of a letdown, but what, you couldn't do anything about it. And again, then I was lucky. I gradually got promotion, and after a while I ended up in Dartford. I had my own stores there, store supervisor.
In Dartford?
Dartford, yeah.
So your wife was still with you then, was she?
No, she died then.
She died then, yes. So you had 4 young children?
No, they were all quite old then, by then. Paul was quite a youngster. The other boys, Raymond and Philip, living up in North London.
Oh, right.
And Keith was moved back. He started off in Bracknell, working for the council, and I think he bought a house somewhere in Bracknell, and I think that they found it was a bit expensive. They couldn't manage it. So they saw that these journalists come around, or notices come around saying that there's a job just outside Aberystwyth, and of course they got a house there. It was much cheaper, and he took it.
Right.
Keith, he works as an architect, but he's quite happy. He's got a good job, he reckons, and I'm quite happy as long as he's happy.
Excellent. How do you think the army's looked after you?
Very well. I'm quite happy. Yes.
When you said you wanted to leave, what did they say to you?
I signed on originally for 22 years. Then I signed on after that for another 3. And to go to Aden, I signed on for another 1. So there's nothing they can say about it. They're quite happy to get rid of me, most probably. Because I felt that by me keep on signing on, I was blocking somebody else's promotion. So I didn't want that. So.
Yeah. You get a pension from.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and you're satisfied with that, are you?
Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not satisfied is the taxman takes too much of it.
So, during all you had a long army career. What contact did you ever have with military police?
None.
None at all?
Didn't want any.
No, right.
No.
What did you think of them? You didn't want contact.
They had a job to do. In some ways, they're doing their job properly. They were helping me.
If you needed, when you were in charge of people, if you needed, but did you ever call on them for help or?
No, I don't think I ever did. No, I don't think I ever did.
No.
Only thing when we were in Germany, Minden or in Brunswick, they all bought cars, and invariably one of them was rapid on a telegraph pole or something.
What, the military police?
No, the soldiers.
Oh, youngsters, yeah.
And then the military police would come in and find out all the whys and wherefores of it.
Because sometimes some people, think poorly of them, don't they?
I suppose they do. Yeah, but then again, as I said, I think only people who think poorly of them is people who not living by the rules. I think when people wrap the car around a telegraph pole, it's only because they've been out drinking and they shouldn't do.
So you seem to have coped with the stress of combat combat very well. Did you ever get depressed or nervous or?
Yeah, I think so. So we got into Germany. We outside a place called Goch. We were getting shelled every minute of the day, I think. I didn't sort of blow my top, but I think I got very close to it.
What sort of symptoms did you have? Were you used to jumpy or?
Yeah, you couldn't sleep. You couldn't settle down. You couldn't relax at all. I don't know. That's about it.
Did you see anyone go bomb happy or shell shocked or whatever they?
Yeah. I never saw an actual person, but I know that there's quite a number of them run out from the lines, and they were eventually picked up somewhere back behind the lines. And I think as it was in the 1418 war, poor buggers would have been laid up against the wall and shot. But they couldn't help it, and I can understand it.
Do you think the army's attitude was quite good to people?
I think so, yes.
In the Second War,
I think so, yes.
Did you get people in Malaya not able to cope with the stress of it, you know?
No, I think they all coped quite well.
Perhaps they knew what to expect, or thought they knew what to expect, having read about the, Japanese and the Second World War and so on. Yeah. So you left the army fairly happily. Was there any sort of a send-off? Because you'd been RSM for a good while.
No, I don't. I think the ladies' club would give Novello a good send-off. And I think the soldiers were glad to see me go, possibly. I don't know.
Did you keep in touch with the army or
no,
the
no.
regiment?
Oh, I do. Yes, that's not quite true.
You do now.
We lived I lived in Dartford to start off with, and the London branch got a branch of the comrades. So I eventually joined them and kept in touch with them that way. And since we've been down here, we get in touch with the museum, and we go down once a week to help out the museum, which keeps me in touch with everything.
During your time, any of your service, did you have any contact with other nations' troops? You've obviously mentioned the Germans, and I think you mentioned the Americans. Did you meet any other Canadians or Russians? Or
in Germany, we have a shooting match. It's called a Prix Leclerc. It is named after General Leclerc. Leclerc, I think. And there was Danish, Belgium, American, Canadians, and ourselves all taking part. Because we used to meet them then. And this is when I got even don't dislike to the Americans, the crafty lot. The captain of our team, he was a rather silly man, really. They went out one night and they met these Canadians, and they realised who he was, so they started plying him with drinks. And come on to the day of the shoot, and he was a very good pistol shot, but on the day he couldn't hold a pistol straight. He was shaking so much. So he got knocked out of it. And of course, that's, to me anyway, that started the old decline in everybody else. The rest of the team, the stuffing got knocked out of them, and as we were expecting to come first, we only come third.
Because you were quite a shot. You were saying that you shot at Bisley.
Yeah.
So when you were shooting at Bisley, who did you shoot for?
The battalion and myself.
What year was that?
About 1963, thereabouts.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly, I came sixth.
So you shot in the best 100 of the British Army, yeah?
Yeah.
And came sixth.
Yeah.
So what other things did you enjoy doing in the army, apart from your sort of direct work,
Well, when we were in Germany, we used to enjoy a weekend packing the car up and taking the family house off somewhere. So up to roam around Holland, Belgium. I didn't like Belgium very much. I always thought it was a scruffy. Sorry, always thought it was a scruffy place. Holland was very nice.
So, you never had any regrets about joining the army in the first place?
No, never. I got no regrets. None of my sons wanted to join the army. They never wanted to, and that was it. I didn't mind it.
What do you think? I mean, you've been in combat a lot of times. Do you ever feel you suffered any mental ill effects?
No, and I get a bit furious today, or these days, they got all these people worrying about counselling out there. I mean, they were just still doing the counselling now if they want to counsel everybody in the army, in the war. No, I can't. I'm maybe a bit intolerant, but I can't understand why they want counselling.
You coped your own way.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think you managed to cope? Is it because you were with a lot of people, or
not necessarily? No.
Looked after well.
I think I always assumed that we had a job to do and we got on with it and done it.
Looking back on the training you initially had, if we go back to when you did your basic training and you were in the schemes and so on down in the south of England before you went to France, do you think what you were taught, the actual practical skills, were what you needed in France? I mean, were they what?
Yes, I think so. I think yeah, very much so. I think the training covered all aspects of it: how to fire the weapons, how to use the field craft, how to observe, all that sort of thing. It was taken into account.
Were the British Army's weapons, what they gave you, and equipment, was it as good as what you were facing from the Germans?
No. The Germans, they were very good with their tanks. The British tank, which is the American pattern anyway, they used to call it Tommy cookers, because the Tommies in them, if they got hit, they were cooked. Yeah. As easy as that.
Yeah. So did the British soldier rather resent that he didn't have better equipment, or?
No, I don't think so. I think possibly more today. I think there's resentment. I think the infantry weapons were quite good, I think. I don't think I ever heard anybody complaining about them.
Do you miss anything since you left?
No, I think it's a shambles as it is now. Ladies been in the front line.
Don't you think ladies can fight?
Yeah, I suppose they could. They come to the push, but I don't think they generally, I mean, there's always an exception to the rule, but generally I don't think they are as robust as men. They couldn't put up with some of the conditions that men have got to put up with.
And the army has had a reputation for being rather tough on its discipline of people who, didn't toe the line, whether they were homosexuals or troublemakers or people nicking things or whatever. Do you think army punishments were too tough, or?
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever get involved with the punishment system in the army anywhere?
No, never. No.
You never had to sit on any.
That's not quite true, because only when we in the battalion, in the regiment, you get some soldiers. We command officer would give them 7 days in the clink or something like that. Restriction of privileges. They be on bread and water, something like that, for a couple of days. Then that would be carried out. But also at the same time, then the doctor would be around every day to look at them, examine them, make sure they were all right. So I think it's fair enough.
Do you think, would you have liked to have had a commission?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not... as I was as RSM, I was a big cog in a small works. If I went in the commission, I'd be the other way around. If I, as I was the RSM, if I said jump, the whole blasted regiment would jump. But also, I think is I'm very sadly lacking in education.
The army never offered.
Oh yes, that was one of the to become from the lance corporal, sergeant. So you got to pass various education qualifications. I passed them up to become up to a sergeant, and then from there on to be a warrant officer. I had a first class education certificate.
Oh yeah.
And they send you on a course, and on the course, and on the course, and that's how bad it was. And I think in the end that the examiners, they think, oh Christ, Chandler, you ought to give him a pass mark, get rid of it. And I think...
What sort of things were those courses about? Were they about general reading and
well,
writing?
No.
Specific?
I would like them, most probably, to sound like, what exam did they pass today in school?
A-levels?
A-levels, something like that. Oh, not as far as A-level, no.
Yeah. GCSEs?
That's the ones, yes.
Yeah. In different subjects?
Yeah.
Like school subjects, were they?
Yeah,
Like
English, maths, geography, map reading, current affairs.
Right. And were they useful? I mean, it was a good education, was it?
Well, no, because I used to go on a 6-week course, and once the course was over, you'd sit the exam. But after that, it was gone. It was never long enough to hold it in your memories.
Yeah. Still, they tried. When during the war, when you came home on leave, did you get any leave once you went into Europe? Or?
No.
Not till the end of the war?
It started leave, but I wasn't the lucky one.
Right.
They had leave after the war was over. And I always remember travelling up from Dover by train up to London. Even after the war, we still got a great welcome.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you were in uniform.
Yeah.
You were one of our lads.
But on the trains going up, all the houses were well done, Tommy and all that sort of rubbish. But it was good.
Must have felt good.
Yeah.
When you were in Europe during the war, did you get letters and things from home?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Regularly?
Yes.
Did you write home?
Yeah.
What, to your mother or?
My mother, yeah.
Yeah. Was that very important to get the letters?
Towards my mother, yes. I don't think it was very important to me. It didn't. I think
You were very busy.
Not really, not anymore. I mean, on time, ample time. A lot of the time you would just dig your trench and that was it.
During the war, were you conscious of conscientious objectors, people who'd refused to take part?
Yeah, I was conscious. We knew about them, but I didn't know anyone. I didn't meet anyone.
What did you and your comrades in the Second World War think about the profiteers and black marketeers at home? Because you must have heard about them.
You heard about them, but I don't think... You see, I was brought up in the valleys. I had very restricted knowledge of the outside world. I mean, I never saw the seasides until I was about 14 or something like that. My dad died when I was 12. But life was very hard for my mother. So we never went anywhere. I used to go up the mountain and look across the valley and think, oh, that's my world. So I was very... I'm a very introvert character. I find very... Although I talk now because you ask me questions. But to sit here... Judy, she can talk for blooming days, and... she goes out, she was down there, she'd talk. But I find it very difficult to hold a conversation.
But you must be quite good at getting on with people, because you did
I must be, yeah, I know that. I haven't said that. I was quite successful in the army career and with the electricity board, so you're doing something right.
Yes. So you worked for the electricity board until you retired, did you?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, right. And then you moved back to Wales then, did you?
Yeah, yeah. As I said, my wife died 31 years ago, 32 years ago, something like that. I went in lodgings out in Gravesend. My colleague, he come down here because his father was living down here, and he bought a house just out on the park, and he wanted to sell it, so I said I'll buy it, and that's why I moved down here.
Right.
By then I'd met Judy, and she decided she would come down, and...
But you're happy here?
I'm happy, yeah.
So you had a good life in the army then?
I've had a good life all the... You see, although my dad was never... seldom did he ever work. it was like that for all my friends around me. We never had nothing. So we made our own enjoyment, and I had quite a happy childhood. My dad, unlike a lot of people, he get dole money, but he didn't go down the pub and drink it all away. He took brought home to Mum, and we got fed well and clothed well.
He was a good father.
He was a good father, yes.
Yeah, yeah. You haven't mentioned at all of any comrades getting killed or injured at all.
I had a lot of friends got killed during the war. Because I won a great cross-country run, but I like cross-country running. And I had a friend, Chandler, he always used to beat me, but he got killed. One of them things, he couldn't do anything about it.
How did he get killed?
By a shell blown up. See, most of the casualties in warfare, as far as I can say, are caused through mortar fire or shell fire. There's not a lot of people got killed by a bullet.
I mean, you must have seen comrades killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. What effect did that have on you at the time?
I think it was devastated at the time, but you said, well, that's it, got to get on with it. And
when someone was killed, I mean, would the company bury him, or would he go back?
No, we wouldn't bury him. People coming up and do all that.
Yeah. Would the padre come round?
I never seen him coming around to our funeral. But I would say he's there when, if you needed him, he would be there.
Did people talk to him about, losing friends and things?
I imagine he must have done. I think I felt more upset now. Just recently, just before Christmas, my friend died. He was in the Southwest Borders. We always talk about old times, and I felt more about that than ever about anybody killed in a war.
So, you've enjoyed your army career?
Yeah.
No complaints?
Yeah.
Any more stories you haven't told me? You must have had some good.
Oh yes, some very good times. I tell. When we were in Hong Kong, every 12 months the Queen, we have a birthday parade. The Queen's, but I think it's too hot on her birthday, so we have one when it's a bit cooler. And of course, all the regiments take part in that, and of course, you always aim to be the best. So it's one of the shows about what can we do this year. And I know he must probably suggest. He said we'll march them in sixes. They won't have, because normally it's marked down in threes. We'd go a block of 6. And we'd have 6 sergeants in front. I said, where the heck are you going to get 6 tall sergeants from? Because they're all Welshmen, about my size. Anyway, we overcome that problem, and off we go. They come to the birthday parade and march down through the streets of Hong Kong, down to the end of it, and then at the end there's always the naffy wagon, tea and cakes, whatever. And on the way down, I was always looking back, make sure they all, because their heads and arms swinging, fine, lovely. That's why I got down the end, and one of the chaps came in, he said, hello, sir, what did you think of them? I thought they were very, very good. And he said, well, what do you expect, sir? He said, they're looking up there, they're looking at their girlfriends. Of course, back through Shaki Wan and Wan Chai is all the red light area of Hong Kong. Well, that's why they're looking up at there.
So it was a good time on the whole.
Oh yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, you tend to forget the bad times and remember only the good things.
Do you ever get any flashbacks now and sort of remember being back there?
Not necessarily. I don't think so. I think that period of my life is gone, and
life moves on.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Well, Ray Chandler, thank you very much indeed.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.